And now, around the world and around the corner, it's the David Bowers Awards, bringing the best in indie music to millions of listeners worldwide with your host, the David Bowers. We've got a fantastic lineup of guests, as well as our engineer extraordinaire, Nick the Geek, our entire crew here at the Asylum, and me. I'm John Bon Jovial. And now, here's the voice of indie music, the David Bowers.
Thank you. Thank you, legendary John Bon Jovial, who is here in spirit and recording only today because, he had to take a day off for some other frivolous activities and will not be joining us today. So we have been blessed with his voice, and now he has gone into that incredible good night wherever it is that former radio announcers go. Anyway, we're glad you're here with us because it would be awfully lonely sitting here playing this music if you weren't here. So welcome to you, our listeners around the world, and of course our listeners in Rochester, New York, who listen on WRFZ FM 106.3 Rochester Free Radio. We're glad to have you all aboard with us here today. And for those of you walking the streets of Rochester, walking by the House of Guitars, you'll be hearing us in your ear too. So lucky you. Glad to have you with us. We've got a fun show today. Hopefully not too many things will go wrong because, as I said, we are flying solo today. And if something goes wrong, we're going to be in real trouble. But first off, one of our previous guests who's been with us several times, both in person and also for new releases over the years. And we're going to welcome him back with another new release right now. Jerry Hull, an artist from Hudson in the UK. And we'll tell you more about him for those of you who don't know him in just a couple of minutes. Right now, I'm going to let him tell us about his new release. Here's Jerry Hall.
Hello, everybody. This is indie recording artist Jerry Hall, and I'm excited and very pleased to tell you about my brand spanking new single, Supercharged Chassis. It's the first single of my forthcoming album, and it's one hell of a raw-edge rocker, taking you on a hot riding cruise into the inner city streets and back alley life with a lady that's built with 1,200 turbocharged rhythm and blues, hitting the motorways from 0 to 105 seconds. She's sexy, she never stops, and fully stocked down a highway of supercharged rock. So get her while it's hot. Supercharged Chassis. Yeah. She's supercharged. Well, she's ultra hot, full stock, pure and never chop shop, always first on racing day. Just tearing up her back, screaming down the motorway. Yeah, well, I've never seen a lady so sexy as you. 1,200 turbocharged pack, rhythm and blues. From 0 to 105 seconds, how could I lose? Supercharged chassis, rumbling in the alleyway, beaming in through the night. She's my Tallahassee starlet. Never know just where she's been. I put up a fight, and we're out on the road again, rolling down this old highway to win. Rockin' supercharged down the path of sin. She's supercharged, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. rhythm and blues. Racing through a breakthrough and blue, you know I never lose. Supercharged chassis rumbling in the alleyway, beaming in through the night. She's my Tallahassee Sally. Never know just where she's been. I put up a fight, and we're out on the road again, rolling down this old highway to win. Rockin' supercharged down a path of sin. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Mr. Jerry Hall and his latest called Supercharged Chassis. And that thing is tearing up the charts over in the UK and starting to make some noise over here in the States on independent radio online, especially on Indies Radio. You're going to find it on several stations around the country. You can find him online at, all the usual places, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, of course. He's a singer, pianist, and songwriter, and arranger also from Memphis, Tennessee, who's now based in Kingston upon Hull, UK. And all of his music is original entirely. It includes storytelling and, of course, very piano-driven, reminiscent of some guy named Elton over there, as far as piano-driven style, accompanied by his vocals and various instrumentations, much of which he does himself. And in addition to being an arranger, he's also a multi-talented musician, and his style kind of harks back to the popular sounds and styles of the 60s and 70s. And, of course, we all know Elton John made his presence known in the 70s, very early 70s. And Jerry has a twist of modern imagination. He says, my music encompasses genres such as pop, rock, blues, boogie-woogie, the Memphis sound, Americana, gospel, country, medieval jazz. And he goes on, and sometimes I think he incorporates all of those into an individual song. He's really kind of a creative guy and really starting to build himself quite an audience. I think you may find, you may hear a lot more of him in the very near future. Jerry Hall, and as I said, you can find him on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all around the internet, just like most everybody right now in these days and age. And we thank him for always sharing his new releases with us here on the David Bowers Awards, where every show is an award show and every guest is an award winner. We'd like to thank Titty Bingo for our theme music. They're kind of our house band and provide our theme song. We want to thank them as we do every week, and we want to thank you, our listeners, of course, and also Mary Perry, who is an accredited disability representative in Rochester, New York. And Mary Perry underwrites the show on WRFZ FM 106.3 FM radio, Rochester Free Radio. And she helps enable the fact that Rochester Free Radio is able to carry the David Bowers Awards. Jerry's song, by the way, which we just played, Supercharged Chassis, is the first single from his latest album, and after only 3 days after it was released, it shot up to the number one slot on 2 radio stations charts. And after the first release, it was number 7 of the top 40 Radio Indie Alliance overall chart, number 1 in the top 10 of indie and country music with Moni and Cynthia, and number 1 on the top 10 of It Matters Radio with Mona Brinkman. So as I said, he's starting to hit a lot of the indie charts around the world, and with a double number 1 in his first week, not even a whole week actually, it managed to hit number 7 in the overall top 40. That's the new album, which was released will be released May 18th. I forget, we're recording a little bit ahead of time, but that's May 18th. It's released. The album is Strange Afternoons, and it'll be available for purchase everywhere in the world, iTunes, Google Play, all the usual suspect places. So check him out. Jerry Hull. Okay. Our next guest we're proud to have with us this week is a first-timer on the show. She's joining our family. She is a Christian singer-songwriter from Philadelphia who sings with conviction and power, I'll tell you that. Her name is Christa Deana. Now, if you go looking her up, and this kind of threw me for a curve too, so I want to be sure and point out so you find her. Her last name is spelled as if it was Deana, D-E-A-N-A, but it's pronounced Deana. Okay, so don't go trying to spell Deana. Spell it Deana, and you'll catch it. Christa Deana. And her songs speak to the journey of a woman after God's own heart. Each song that she does is deeply rooted in her personal yet extremely vulnerable relationship with God. It's the beauty and emotion in her voice, the candor of her lyrics that help inspire others to go all the way every day with the Lord. And we're going to play a song by her right now. Then we're going to have her come in, sit down, and talk to us and tell us a little bit more. As a matter of fact, hopefully a lot more about Christa Deana. This is her current hit release. It's called If God Doesn't Want It.
If God doesn't want it, then I don't. I guess it just ain't for me. Listen, I used to think I knew what was best for me. Praying and asking on my bended knee. Then I learned to pray and trust in your word. As I lift my voice, this is what I heard. If God doesn't want it, then I don't want it. I refuse to complain about what he hasn't given me. If it's not from my Father, then it's from the enemy. God always does what's best for me. Put it in his hands, leave it be. I heard it clearly that night. I lift my voice. I'm committed, you'll always be my choice. I only want the things you want for me. Yeah. I'll seek you first. The rest is history. I don't want it. I refuse to complain about what he hasn't given me. If it's not from my Father, it's from the enemy. God always does what's best for me. Put it in his hands, leave it be. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard all you have planned for me. So I raise my hands in surrender. I feel so much better. I trust you when I choose to let it go.
God, if you don't want it, I don't want it, never should have had it. Yeah, you're charismatic, and I always want your will to be leading me. Take away the feelings and the thoughts of me thinking that'll surely be conceding me. I don't want to do this alone, cause I don't condone the evil that'll prevent me from bringing me home. I'm like a lamb to the slaughter. Save me from my thirst to death, continue seeking for that ever-living water. Put a stop to whatever's not yours, Lord. I'm only in it cause I want to be on one accord. I got the Holy Spirit in me, he's my shooting sword. I know that death's not the plan that you scored, so I know that you're the life giver. Mercy and forgiveness for a low-life sinner like me. I don't want it if I know it's gonna be tempting me. Show me the path that you know what's only meant for me.
If God doesn't want it,